Hi, my name is Cynthia Fulreader, and I'm the director of the Children's Mental Health Program at Southwestern College. And the Children's Mental Health Certificate Program is part of the New Earth Institute. Southwestern College is in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and our certificate programs are open to everyone. And we're going to tell you more about it today. With me is graduate student Amy. Would you introduce yourself?
Absolutely. I'm Amy Gordon, graduate assistant and student at Southwestern College in Santa Fe.
We'd like you to know as you're listening that this program is open to current students who are getting their master's degree in counseling or their degree in art therapy. It's also open to graduates, professionals in the community, as well as lay people who are interested in children's issues.
Yeah, really good information. Can you tell us about how the program started?
Yeah, the program started based on a need seen by the Santa Fe community. When graduate students from Southwestern College were out in the field doing their internships, their supervisors and the agencies they were working with said, "We would like you to have more skills in children's mental health." So we sat around with those graduate students, we sat around with the providers and those agencies at the table and asked them specifically, what would you like our interns to know? They told us that they needed more skills in parenting, family dynamics, suicide prevention, reporting child abuse, dealing with loss in children's lives. So that even though our students had a wonderful degree in counseling, there was much more specialization that was welcomed by the community in children's issues.
Oh, I can see that. And a lot of the classes that are offered through the program really hit on some of those subject matters.
Exactly. We have 3 core courses, and those courses are mental health and attachment, the heart of well-being, and the ethical issues that arise when working with children, teens, and families. And then there are elective courses. We have sand tray and sand play, play therapy skills, suicide prevention, dealing with loss in a child's world, and gender issues and sexual identity, which is becoming more and more part of the conversation.
I see, yeah. And attachment is a huge issue in children's mental health.
It really is. And as you know, we also have an infant mental health program at Southwestern College. And infant mental health, the essence of that is based on attachment. It's the relationship between the caregiver and the infant. And then children's mental health is a continuation of that. Children have to reestablish a firmer attachment with a caregiver if there was any weakness in that, which we sometimes call attachment repair. And then they have to have the abilities to make other relationships work as well, with peers, siblings, and in school. And so attachment really is what we call the core of brain development in the child and their success in life and in school.
Really important.
It's really important.
And it affects a lot of different fields of work too, right?
It does.
So what are some of those fields? Like, who are these classes for besides students at Southwestern College?
Right. So those of you who are working in the school system are excellent candidates. School counselors for sure, also teachers, principals, administrators. What you're seeing, I'm sure, in the schools is with the behavior problems, there's an awareness that there are family issues and sometimes trauma. So for example, a children who's had trauma in their life, when they're in school and there's a behavior eruption, the way to handle that can either mitigate the trauma or exacerbate it. So not only are we looking at sort of discipline approaches, but we're also looking at what's underneath those behaviors and how the knowledge of that for people working with children can actually make the intervention therapeutic. It would never be expected that a teacher would be a therapist, and yet if they know that regulating their voice in a certain way will help that traumatized child to self-regulate, the child will be more successful.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Yeah, so education's a huge area.
That's a great group to come to these certificate classes. Another group would be hospital or medical providers for similar reasons. Sometimes physical issues and symptoms are psychosomatic, and understanding the relationship again between children's mental health and their physiological issues makes medical intervention more clear.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
There are a lot of applications.
There are a
to
lot of
children's mental
applications, yes.
health. You had mentioned before that a lot of changes have occurred in this field. It's really evolved over time. Would you like to tell us about some of those changes and where children's mental health might be going?
Yes, absolutely. In the graduate program at Southwestern College, I teach human development and family counseling, and we know that historically, when there was a problem in the child, it was seen as something organic in the child, or sometimes the fault of the mother, such in the early history of schizophrenia. More and more we've realized that children are part of an environment. They're part of a system, the family system, the environment of the extended family, the culture, whatever other norms there are in their society, their socioeconomic levels. And so we know that adult interaction with children actually enhances or impacts mental health in a negative way. And so now when we look at children's mental health, we're not looking at the child in isolation. We're treating the child, but sometimes we're treating the family more or equally. And that's not to lay blame, but that's rather to guide the caregivers. You know, it's very easy if an adult has grown up with wounding themselves to carry that wounded child inside of them. And even the most well-meaning adult can fall into the trap of behaving in ways that are destructive to their children. It doesn't mean that they're bad people. And so as parents can face that in a way that's safe and doesn't feel blaming or like an attack, they actually can become excited about feeling freer themselves and more able to support their child. And then the children are very excited when they see that kind of change. So one of the things that addressing children's mental health can do is when we're supporting the whole child as well as the family, we're also affecting success in school, and we're affecting the persona of the face of children in our communities, and hopefully galvanizing more community support for meeting all the different needs of children.
There's a lot of opportunity, really, for employment and for career in children's mental health and education and healthcare, and so a lot of applications to the certificate program and the courses that are offered through the program. And thank you so much for coming here today to talk to people about the program and to encourage people to find out more information and check out a class. You don't have to get their certificate, right? You can just come check out a class sometime.
That's right. You can come to any one of the programs, and you can also contact me or Amy or a number of people who love to sit down and talk about it, as you can tell.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Amy.